So very excited for Zach to speak today. Zach is a recent college graduate from UC Davis and graduated with a degree in sustainable environmental design. Zach's been with Yolo County Resource Conservation District this year, and you'll hear a lot more about what he's been up to during the fellowship. Zach was hoping to gain some practical experience in plant identification, GIS, and land stewardship. Which I know he had and more. So very excited. Zach, it's all over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Eliza. Welcome, everybody. Sorry about the hiccup there at the beginning. I'll try to be a little bit quicker with some of my slides here. Yeah, this is my presentation on my service term with Yolo RCD. The theme I'm going with here is Yolo County Conservation, past, present, and future. So a brief overview, I'll give some context of the area of Yolo County, the host site, and then just go through some of my projects, training, and my thoughts on the year. So to begin with, Yolo County is located in the Sacramento Valley region, just under 217,000 population, median income 31,000. The cities in, I think in like purple, basically are Davis, Woodland, Winters, and then West Sacramento. County seat is in Woodland, and the Putwin people, the Yochodihi Winton Nation, inhabit this area, and we are on their land in Yolo County. As you can see on the right here, this the green on this map represents ag land. So there's a lot of agriculture in Yolo County. And as well as some ranching in some of the more like hilly areas. But yeah, majority of the county is designated as ag land. Continuing with that, we have a diversity of natural environments here in Yolo County, from the sort of foothills and oak woodland in the western side of the county, along the foothills into Lake Berryessa and the Coast Range there. Very high fire return interval in that area. Then you have a lot of riparian corridors. Of course, Puda and Cache Creeks are the main watersheds that drain toward the east into the Yolo bypass and Sacramento River. As I mentioned, agriculture is really big, and yeah, the Yolo bypass in the East County near Sacramento has a lot of wetlands and migratory bird habitat there. I'll just note that many of the waterways in Yolo County, the smaller ones, have been sort of channelized or straightened to divert or provide agricultural water supply. So with the host site here in Woodland, Yolo County Resource Conservation District is a California special district. We have about 14 or 15 staff. Our office is in Woodland, and we as an organization support a lot of growers and landowners with things like technical assistance, irrigation evals, carbon farm planning, and conducting conservation projects on private land. But there's also a lot of other types of restoration projects, and including yeah, some open space and like riparian reserve type sites. The RCD also operates the Yolo County Fire Safe Council and newly formed Prescribed Burn Association, providing fire resilience support to the community, and especially in that western side of the county, as I mentioned. And we also do outreach and education related to conservation issues. So we work closely with NRCS, sometimes other agencies like Department of Water Resources, nonprofits, and conservancies in the area, the County of Yolo. I mentioned landowners and also other RCDs. So my project work here has focused on the habitat restoration portion primarily of what the RCD does. I haven't been as involved in any of the fire programming, but I've sort of organized my main work into these three categories. So I've been working on mapping all of the RCD's project work over the past 20 plus years, and uploading some of our current projects to the CA-RCD tracker to kind of quantify our impact here. A lot of habitat restoration field work, which is present, and then kind of being able to teach some of those restoration skills to students or the next generation of conservation professionals potentially, and some outreach. So that's the future portion. And I am going to go kind of in reverse order with these. So first, SLUES is the Student and Landowner Education and Watershed Stewardship Program, which is a mouthful, but I served as a group mentor, teaching small groups of high school students about planting, plant ID, and restoration field techniques. And these are mostly students in ag science classes, some natural science courses. And the program really focuses on teaching them land stewardship and exposing them to some potential career paths. And yeah, this is one of the projects that actually receives funding, tribal funding here. And I think that getting to work with the students was really rewarding, especially over the course of several months, getting to see them again on subsequent field days, and kind of, being able to connect with them and provide some insight as to my experience as a recent college grad. I have also worked on some outreach with Allie, my supervisor here at the RCD, working on a few Instagram posts. I also added about 30 species to our plant ID cards, and kind of revamped the hedgerow maintenance guide, which are two resources that we send out to the partners in the SLUES program, so they can know more about their new hedgerow or whatever has been planted by the students. And with that, I'll move on to the bulk of what I did here is the on the ground habitat restoration. So that's pretty wide ranging in terms of sites. We got like hedgerows, a lot of riparian edge, farm edge sites, bank stabilization on some of those sloughs. You can see in the top left, this is me planting plugs at one of our revegetation sites where we removed some invasive arundo or giant reed, which is a nice segue into invasive species control, consisting, mostly herbicide application, some hand removal of our target species, as well as I did a lot of weed mapping this spring, so we can kind of track the invasive species spread at our sites and know when to, or make a plan to treat those sites. On the middle in the right column is me at Woodland Regional Park Preserve mapping some pepperweed. And then, the other thing I did was a lot of site maintenance, just kind of making sure that the plantings are surviving and the weed pressure is reduced and so on through mowing, weed whacking, fixing irrigation, and conducting survival surveys. Some of the other pictures here are planting cottonwood pole cuttings, fixing irrigation on the bottom center, mulching at City of Davis open space, mowing, and then the top center is a group of staff from Yolo RCD and also Solano RCD in the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta, one of our sites there. We partner with Solano RCD and Contra Costa RCD on that project. That was an interesting, cross RCD project, really cool. Now moving on to the sort of present and past section, which is what I've been working on as my capacity building projects in the office. One of those is uploading our current projects to the project tracker website, rcdprojects.org. And that kind of consists of looking through and identifying kind of key performance measures, looking through the budget, and highlighting some of our partnerships. And that has been, it's kind of sounded straightforward, but has been more challenging than I expected. So what I actually did was developed a guide for the RCD staff to continue this work to make that a little smoother. And my biggest project here at the RCD, as I mentioned, has been mapping all of our project work since about 1995. And so I've developed an interactive GIS map of every site. And the purpose of this is really to visualize our impact throughout the county and build some institutional knowledge that we can use to plan future projects or potentially use as outreach. So this is a screenshot of our server folders on the right. So kind of taking this system and putting the information into a map, which is a little more visual and easy to understand. So here on the right side is a layout form of the finished product. There's 211 points, and that represents about 28 years of work, and including our current projects and all of our past sites. And it's we have points in these 4 counties. The interactive component is in GIS. If you click on any of these points, you will get a pop-up window, which you can see on the left here, that has the project name, a description, partners, start and end dates, and what type of project it is, like hedgerow or riparian and so on. Some of our projects, like the Fire Safe Council, for instance, are more programmatic. So those are mapped on the RCD office building, which looks kind of funny, but that's what you see here in the center is all of those projects. So I also added some functionality to this map to be able to look at our different projects in different ways. So you can look at just a certain year or range of years, or a certain type of project, which, as you see here, we're looking at all of our hedgerow projects. So that's pretty interesting to be able to filter things in that way and yeah, use as a resource for planning, potential outreach through the website. A lot of potential applications here.
Thanks, Zach, and we'll do about kind of a 1 to 2 minute warning if that's okay.
Awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll just highlight a little bit of my professional development that I've been able to do through GrizzlyCorps. Some trainings through the RCD. We did a bird survey training with DWR, pictured here. Obviously, trained on all of our herbicides and equipment. We did a 8-hour wilderness first aid and CPR certification. And I've been fortunate to get a little bit of live fire experience with the Yolo PBA as well. Externally, I did the UC certified California Naturalist program, and this picture is a brochure of lichen species that I produced as part of that course. I also attended a few conferences, including CIRCAL, a Thule Restoration Conference, and the California Invasive Plant Council Symposium. And I've done a few GIS trainings as well. So overall, my takeaways is I learned a lot through this program. Looking back, it's kind of amazing the amount of skills that I've developed in terms of field work and GIS and the knowledge of species ID of native plants and invasive plants. And the other main takeaway is just kind of understanding the local conservation community here, being able to network, understanding my place in that, and really building a connection to the region and its habitat. And I feel a lot more confident now, and I'm very grateful for this experience. And I feel like I'm moving in the right direction. So with that, thank you very much to everyone at GrizzlyCorps and Yolo RCD and also the other fellows. This has been a great experience, and yeah, happy I could share it with you here.
Thank you so much, Zach.
Yeah, if there's any questions, maybe we could squeeze that in. Otherwise, I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, we could probably take one question or one comment before we move on to the next presentation. But that was an amazing, yeah, really great. And thank you. Okay, tons of appreciation in the chat. Well, thanks so much for everything, Zach. That was amazing.
I do have a comment as having Zach map all those projects has been a dream of us who've been working at the RCD, but have never had the ability, the skills or the time to focus on it. And it just brought everything together. So we're super grateful for that. It looks great. So thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, Tanya.
We're gonna end this presentation.